Why are these folks lined up for as far as the eye can see? Well, they're here in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee for the Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion. Motorhead Garage has everything for you, from Jeep builds to cool accessories for your Jeeps. We've got it all, so stay tuned.
Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Welcome to the LeConte Center in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. It's the home of the 2023 Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion. Inside and all over the grounds, Jeeps and accessories for Jeeps, everything you could want if you're into Jeeps or you'll want to get into Jeeps. Motorhead Garage has it all, so let's get started because there's a whole lot to cover. You can see here at the Jeep Invasion, there are so many different accessories you can get for your Jeep, but perhaps none more important than the headlights. Brian, why are headlights so crucial?
It's great for your visibility. It's great for, it actually has lots of character to your vehicle as well. It just kind of depends on what you like for the halos and stuff like that. But everybody wants more visibility, especially around here.
And Firewire LEDs, how are they different than other lights out there?
So we take a lot of pride in everything we do. All of our off-road stuff is full lifetime warranty, and it's military grade. So we kind of run that into with our headlights and stuff as well. So.
What different Jeeps are you making headlights for these days?
So we have them for the JKs, all the older style, and we just came out with the JL and the Gladiator headlights finally for the 9-inch, and then we have the matching fog lights as well.
What are some of the features of Firewire's LED lights?
Okay, so in our new Gladiator headlights, we have the different halos. So we actually have an amber white switchback, we have a white daytime running, and then we have the RGB color changing as well.
I know I'm not going to have a problem with the light from Firewire, but if something goes wrong, what are my options?
Just give us a call, or if you order online, you can just log right in, see your order, just create a return. It's very simple.
How do I know I'm getting a great light from Firewire?
Because we actually stand behind it. You can call us if you have any questions at all. We're happy to help at any time.
You can find them at firewireleds.com. That's Firewire LEDs. These things are great. A little over 15 years ago, Jeep came up with the Freedom Top, and well, that may be a little bit of a misnomer if you ask some folks. You can take that off, but you got to find a place to put it. And of course, if you're cruising and you've left it at home, it starts raining, you're in big trouble. So there's some hassles when it comes to the Freedom Top. Richard, how did you solve it at Easy Uft?
I solved it by coming up with an idea that I could hinge it, and it wasn't an easy task because of the shape of your top. And I had an idea that if I had everything in line with the hinges, I could flip that back and store it on the roof of the vehicle. It rests on neoprene pads and locks when it's open. And if you do have there goes your storage problem, it's no longer inside your vehicle. And if you need to close it because of weather or security, you pull the locking pin and literally close it like a car door and latch it in place.
Easy Uft is easy to install. It's made of a marine-grade aluminum that's powder-coated, and it has a constant torque hinge that's going to place this thing down in the right place every single time with no noise. You can find this at easyuft.com. Make your life a whole lot easier. You know, Jeeps are not just about driving the vehicle, it's about the lifestyle. And you can find everything here at the Jeep Invasion, from cups to hats, all kinds of clothing, all kinds of merchandise, and a place to hang out when you're done driving your Jeep for the day. I can tell you, I think I found my location for the duration of this show. Don't go anywhere because we'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by DragonfireTools.com. I know I'm staying right here.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonfireTools.com, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. Campbell's Custom Care, your detail specialist. And by PaintedAutoBodyParts.com, the leading U.S. auto body parts online store.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonfireTools.com, is hanging out at the Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and we are having a blast. Take a look at this Jeep CJ5. It's a 1974. This thing was restored a few years ago as a frame-off restoration. It took 9 months, and it was built for the 2017 SEMA show. The following year, it came here to the Jeep Invasion and won Best in Show because this thing is a knockout. Take a look at the seats in there, by the way. Look familiar? Probably not. Those are the back seats out of a Geo Tracker. Whether you want a custom Jeep build like this magnificent Gladiator, or you want to do an upgrade or a build by yourself, Cumberland Customs is the place to go. Now, Tim, what's the range of products you offer at Cumberland Customs?
Oh, here at Cumberland Customs, we do everything. Ship your parts. We offer tires, wheels, lift kits, bumpers, custom hoods. We do it all.
When you're looking to sell a product through Cumberland Customs, what are some of the criteria you look for in a vendor?
We're strictly about quality. We want the highest quality products, something that you're not going to have any problems with. We're not the cheap guy, we're the quality guy. Our customers are interested in service and quality builds like this one behind us.
And let's talk about builds like the Jeep behind us. How can you take someone's dream and make it into a reality?
It's a process. This customer came and said, this is what I have in mind. He stayed for 2 days. We wrote down everything, went through, picked it all out. This is a passion for him, and he loves his Jeep. He loves to tell people how great of a job we did on his Jeep and show it off.
How gratifying is it for you to start from scratch and to build somebody a Jeep that they love?
It's my dream. That's my passion. I've been doing this for 50 years. It's something that we love, making people's dreams come true.
You can make your Jeep dreams come true. Look for these guys on Facebook and Instagram. They are called Cumberland Customs, and they are amazing. If you're looking for a custom Jeep build, it doesn't get any better than this. This is fantastic. A 1974 Jeepster Commando. It's built on a TJ frame. Now, the hood's been stretched out 10 inches. The firewall was moved back. All that because there's a 6.1 liter Hemi under the hood that enabled the owner to move the engine back and put it down lower, give you a lower center of gravity. Now, Marvin Stammel is the owner. He rolled this thing about a year ago, and that's when he decided to do the restoration. He wanted a paint job that was going to hide all the dents, and this thing does just that. And yes, you heard me right. This is paint. This is not a wrap. Everybody knows that looking great is a big part of the battle when you own a Jeep, but sounding good is also important, and you can do that thanks to JAMO Performance. Alec, what kind of equipment do you have that I can put on my Jeep to make it sound better?
We have an assortment of different catback systems, axle backs, turn downs, different tips and mufflers.
And let's talk about the mufflers here. You've got a few here. What different models do you cover when it comes to mufflers?
We do offsets, center to center, round, oval, 304, 409, and aluminized style mufflers.
And what different Jeep models do you cover?
We cover the JKs, the JLs, and the TJs right now.
And I see you have a few different finishes. What's available?
We have polished and raw finish. All of our mufflers will be slip-on.
And I see you have a few fabrication parts, so if you're making your own system, lots of different parts from JAMO Performance. And then down here, exhaust tips. That's the part of the exhaust everybody sees, and it also helps everything sound better. So tell me about your exhaust tips. What sets them apart?
We have them all in 304. They're polished. We also have them in black. They're bolt-on, easy to install. All you need is a 15 mil wrench.
And finally, who's using your parts? Are we talking concrete queens or folks actually off-roading with your parts?
We have a mixture of both. Typically, a lot of the off-roaders will do the turn downs, and then the pavement queens will do the nice polished stuff with the polished mufflers and tips.
You can hear the power, you can feel the power, you can find it at jamoperformance.com. That's going to do it for the Jeep Invasion here in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, but we've got a whole lot more from Motorhead Garage presented by DragonfireTools.com when we return to our Campbell's Custom Care studio next.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonfireTools.com, coming to you from the Campbell's Custom Care Studio.
This is Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonfireTools.com. Now, if you're a professional detailer or if you like cleaning your car at home, I'm about to change your life, or at least Carmine is now. Detail Guards, Carmen, you guys make a dirt filter and other products that revolutionize the way people detail their cars. And it starts with this. It starts with the dirt lock. And now, there are other dirt filters out there that I've seen for buckets, but how is this one different?
This is the flagship of the whole product line, or mothership as we like to call it. Basically, it's unique in the sense that it traps the dirt at the bottom of the pail, under the screen, separates that dirt from the clean water up above, and keeps it trapped at the bottom. Ultimately, the best way for me to explain how this thing works and show you how it works is to allow you to blow through it and then reverse it, blow the other way, and you can see how it stops.
Definitely feel the air going through there.
Yeah.
Nothing.
exactly.
Couldn't feel it go through at all. So the Venturis are the secret.
Exactly. Venturis and fluid dynamics at work, basically, where fluid and water and debris gets blasted by the movement of your hand pumping up and down. Now, when your glove gets removed from the pail, that vacuum that has to be filled by that glove leaving the pail basically has to draw fresh water in, and it draws fresh water in from the grooves up above the bottom of the Venturis. So a cycle is happening, which is constantly cycling, trapping the dirt at the bottom, keeping it there, thus giving you and leaving you with clean water to work with and rinse for the next cycle. And there's no other system on the market that does this to the point where we were granted a full utility patent on this worldwide. And it's a system that is unique upon itself, and it can be expanded upon into other segments of the market. One of those things that just has a long potential to it. We've added the rubber grips. That helps to hold the whole thing and harness it and hold it at the bottom of the pail so that it doesn't come back up on you when you're using it. And these rubber grips are basically designed to slide up into position and lock that leg from moving. When it slides down, it frees up that leg and allows for removal of the unit. So that's unique to the filtering world as well.
And you've taken that technology and you made the scrub wall here. And it uses that same sort of Venturi idea. Yes. And how does that works the same way?
Yes, it's basically, yes, it's fluid dynamics at work as well there. It's a vertical extension of what the dirt lock can do. But what we're doing is we're utilizing these panels, and they snap into the dirt lock, by the way. And once it's all inserted into your pail, there's a gap between the panel and the scrub wall, and whenever you move your hand or scrub your mitt against here, or your wheel brushes or your little detailing brushes up against there, dirt gets trapped in between the scrub wall and a gap between the pail wall, and it travels down, gets pumped down to the bottom, and gets trapped into these trapped sections and also below the screen. Thus, again, leaving you with always the cleanest water possible up on top.
On the inside of this bucket here, you also have the scrub and pump. How does that work?
Basically, you got another attachment that snaps into the finger grip openings on the dirt lock, and it grabs clean filtered water from above the screen, and there's a pump unit that's built into this device. Through these little holes, it pumps fresh water and clean water up through these ridges, and these are scrubbing ridges that just allow for that little extra scrubbing action and pumping action when you want fresh water to give an extra blast to get rid of the particles that are stuck on there.
Now, it's important to remember the water's still going to look dirty because the dust particles can get up there, but the pebbles and the sand grains are what do the damage, and those are still trapped at the bottom. And you've used the same technology here in your pad washer, which was a new product award winner at SEMA a few years ago. And we know these pads can be really expensive, so you want to keep them clean. Same technology, you put it on there, and it does the same thing, pumps the water into the pad.
Yes, that unit snaps in the replacement of the scrub and pump, and this converts over to a pad washing system.
30 years ago, there were really no detailers around, but you came up with a product that was really before its time, and that sort of started it all. It's the hose guide. And it's super simple. It just slides under the tire and enables your hose, maybe your air hose or your water hose, to not get stuck under there. So it saves you all the steps, saves you all the hassle. And you've been thinking that way for 30 years, and the technology keeps evolving, and you've evolved with it. This is revolutionary, and it's from Detail Guardz. You can find it at detailguardz.com. You can change your life, you can save a lot of steps, save some money, and save your paint job too. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by DragonfireTools.com, so don't go anywhere.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonfireTools.com. Industrial workbenches with integrated tool storage. And brought to you by Amsoil, the first in synthetics. Shock Therapy, ride your way. And by Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radios since 1977.
This is Motorhead Garage presented by DragonfireTools.com. Motorheads, you might have a trailer, perhaps you're a racer or you're a professional, and you keep all your gear in that trailer, and you know that trailer thefts are a big problem. So how have you solved that problem at Trailer Alarms, Lyle?
So we took our knowledge of what happens inside a trailer, what the trailer does, what it doesn't do, and we created a trailer security system. And that's what our PTS2 system does. Protects the trailer, the contents, the alarm system, we call it security in an instant. It flashes the running lights, sounds 120 decibel siren, and locks up the electric brakes.
So you might find other alarms out there that do one or two of those things, but
Yeah,
nobody
but
does all three.
ours is a purpose-built trailer security system. There's other systems out there that are modified or glorified car alarms, and they have extra relays, whereas ours are purpose-built for trailer security.
Well, so you've got two different systems here. This is the basic.
Yep.
And then you've got what you call the Cadillac version of it here. And what's the fundamental difference between the two?
So they will both lock up the brakes, flashlights, sound a siren, and they are both activated by a single button key fob to arm and disarm the system. This system here, our Cadillac version, will send you an email alert if the system goes off. It will also be able to track it and remotely arm and disarm the system through a smartphone device that we have.
A lot of times you're leaving that trailer park because you're a weekend warrior, so it's great to get that notification when you need it. What about monthly fees involved with either one of these?
So with this system, there is no monthly or yearly fees. With this system and its little brother, which does cellular notification, there are yearly fees that are incurred with those.
What's installation like? I know a lot of folks are mechanically minded, but may not be all up on electrical.
So the biggest deal with these is a good ground. Make sure you have a good ground. After that, you need to find the hot wire on the running lights, the brake lead, and hook up the siren. And it's not rocket science, but depending on how particular you are and how well you want to hide the wires, it's going to take you probably 4 hours minimum to get the system installed.
Certainly time well spent.
Yeah.
And what about if they run into trouble and need help with an issue that they might have?
So we do include a little card with every system that has a QR code on it that they can go to our YouTube page and troubleshoot that particular issue that they're having. Or if they can't find it, most people just end up calling the toll-free number and they'll talk to me to get the issue figured out.
If you have a trailer, you've got tons of valuable stuff inside. You can protect it, and you can do it economically at traileralarms.com.
Nothing like the bass distinctive sound of a Harley Davidson. Welcome to this Amsoil Tech Tip. That's right, we're talking about the big twin models, the service, the maintenance, and everything that goes in between. And I want to draw your attention down here to the engine filter. This thing's riddled with X marks, but you see across there, every one of the intervals. Now another thing to look at, you got the primary and you got the transmission. Different entities on that bike, different systems that need lubrication. Now you can see right here, you actually have the crankcase. Now the crankcase, you got your pistons, your rods, everything in here needs lubrication. You need an oil for that. Over here, you got your primary and you got your crankcase. Everything going on in there. The gears, the bearings, you need a lubrication for that. Well, at Amsoil, you guys made it easy, Len. You guys got the answer for all the Harley.
We did. You start to recognize people don't want to have to think when they're going to change the oil on these things. It's already taking up enough time. So we thought, all right, let's put together a kit that has everything in it that you need to change the oil on your bike.
Bam, there you go. So we're dealing with the first product right here. We got the oil.
Right, this is an engine oil change kit. We've got our 20W50 V-twin synthetic oil in there.
And not just the oil. I hate going back and forth to the parts store. So man, you got all the oil you need to do your engine oil.
Everything in there for this particular bike's oil change. There's an O-ring in there. Make sure you change that O-ring.
Gotta love that. I mean,
Exactly.
How many times you watch it drip without the O-ring, and then man, one of my favorites, bam.
There you go.
Not only an oil filter, but ta-da! Whoa.
The chrome one. And we also have that available in the black filters as well. So whatever you like, it's up to you.
And time's money. You're going back to the parts store, this, that. I don't have enough quarts. I don't have the right filter. That's not the case. That kit is going to save you time and save you money. Now, there's old school guys like me. Maybe I don't want to put that in the gearbox. I don't want to put it in the primary. I don't want to put it in the oil. But you can. You can run this in everything, can't you?
That's correct. Our primary recommendation is our 20W50 motor oil in all three of the sumps. However, somebody like yourself wants to use a dedicated primary fluid or a transmission fluid, we have that as well.
You do. You got all the products. So if you want the old school oil, you want the new technology, just go to their website, amsoil.com.
And now for our Motorhead of the Week. And each week we're going to tell you about a viewer who personifies the word Motorhead. There's nobody more fitting than a friend of the show. His name is Randy Lewis out of Bristol, Tennessee. His friends simply call him Crusher. Now, Crusher is the owner and the builder of this 1967 Camaro. And I tell you, this guy was destined to be a Motorhead from day one. In fact, he says his mother even went into labor with him when she was at the drag strip. Needless to say, he grew up in a family of racers. Crusher won his first race in this very car when he was in high school, and that was the first in a long line of race cars he's piloted. He even got his top alcohol funny car license in 1995, and yes, he's been over 200 miles an hour in the quarter mile. Crusher knows his stuff under the hood too, working as a crewman or a car chief with several different teams and racers, including Randy Moore's Pro Mod. He lives in the shadow of Bristol Motor Speedway, and he's been hosting campers on his property for almost 2 decades. And it doesn't matter what kind of racing, Crusher lives and breathes it, and that is why he is our first ever Motorhead of the Week. Now, if you or someone you know should be Motorhead of the Week, click the link on our website, motorheadgarage.tv, and tell us why. Well, there is the checkered flag. That means we are out of time for this episode. We're going to do it again next week. We hope you join us then. Until next week, so long from our entire crew. See ya.